podemos preguntar en el chat. Todos tenemos la posibilidad de utilizar el chat para que allí escribamos nuestras preguntas. Tenemos en línea 4 coaches que nos van a ayudar a responder sus preguntas por si no entienden la palabra, por si no entienden qué significa. Hello. Y podemos estar interactuando frecuentemente a través del chat. Si tienes el valor de hablar, por favor, toma el micrófono, quítale el mute y arranca a hablarnos. So here we are. Thank you for joining us tonight. And Steffi, what are we going to speak about tonight?
Okay, but tonight we are going to be speaking about racism in America, okay? But first, I would like to make sure that everybody understands que todos entienden el propósito de la actividad. It's to get you to speak, right? To make you think about, maybe to get you think of show you a different perspective that maybe you haven't listened to before, right? Because in the media, we see only what the media wants to show us, right? So it really, we don't have one side, or we are not racist, and if we are choosing one side, it's only to encourage you to say, what do you mean, and to speak, okay? So it's important to know that. Good. What are we looking at? What are we looking at here? Okay, would you like to start sharing our presentation?
Of course. So here we are. I'm gonna share you guys a nice presentation. Let me know, please, when you can see it. And here we go. Can you?
Now we can see it. Yes. Now we can see it.
Okay,
so I think we can go to the next slide, racism. So racism in America, right? Today is the media, the evolved media show that you have never seen on TV, okay? Good, we can go to the next one now. So let's start tonight's activity with 3 interesting questions. So Christian, I would like to ask you question number 1.
Of course.
Tienes que cuidarte, ¿vale? Y que te
cuidarte, por favor, cuidarte.
There is someone talking.
Guys, please help us with your microphones.
No, but you can speak. Of course, you can speak, but in English.
Yeah. Okay, so question number 1. Christian, do you believe that white supremacy is a major problem in the United States? What are your thoughts?
Okay, let's start. This is a very interesting question. I do think that white supremacy is becoming a big group in the United States, and a big group of privileges, you know?
Okay.
So we all know about the KKK group, let's call them a group, which has been a very, very hard group in the United States and in the world at all, you know? And they had used their power and their color to take advantage, you know, and to get some positions and some roles around the highest scores, you know. So I do believe that white supremacy, it's a big problem in the United States.
Okay, that's good. Anybody else? Would anybody else like to share their opinion? Any users, maybe from Manizales?
Yes, me, Ricardo.
First.
Hi, Ricardo.
I believe the racism is the major problem in USA. I believe more historical problem because the black people is categorized a criminal. It's a social problem, and it's a major. It's very important, this topic for the society
because
all of the people is equal. Is the same.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Good.
Definitely.
Anybody
definitely.
else?
Me?
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
No,
so cute.
so
It's
My,
like
Daniel.
my
boy.
turn, it's my turn.
I love it. I love it. Come on,
So
come on.
Daniel, go ahead.
Me or the little child?
You, Daniel. You asked for the word first, so go ahead, Daniel Tejas.
Okay. So I think that the problem with the racism are the culture and the education of the people in the world. No, not only in the United States is the problem to all the world because so many people are racist in Colombia or in Europe, Asia. It doesn't matter when you live.
Yeah.
There are always people that they are racist. So I think that we need to change that how you say mentalidad.
Mentality.
Mentality. Yes, we need to change that because all all of them are people like me, like you. I think that is stupid to judge a man or a woman only for they're black or Latin American. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. That's a really good point. I'm really surprised, guys. I have to say, I was prepared to bring out my gloves because you know what everything that we listen to is that racism is a big problem, and so far the first two people have been on that side. So that's interesting. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Does anybody else have anything to share?
Yeah, here we have Manuela Torres raising her hand. So Manuela Torres,
Manuela.
guys.
Hello.
Hi.
I think I agree with Daniel because it's a problem like around the world, but it's more visible at the United States because I don't know, maybe for the appearance because they are whiter or maybe the blue eyes, the green eyes, they think they are superior, but it's something that is cultural a problem for some thoughts that everyone is thinking or sharing. That is something that we have only to accept everyone, even if it's different or is, I don't know, everyone have to be cool with everyone, like if they are different, like it's something normal.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I absolutely agree with you. Thank you, Manuela.
Nice, Manuela, thanks. We have two more people. Can we do
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on with Mayra Acosta.
Hi, Mayra.
Hi. I think that white supremacy is a big problem because it is a group with power, elites,
Yes.
and with many influence. And these types of people have a mental structure that doesn't not care about any else. And if others suffer, they aren't not interested. They are only interested that everything goes according to their ideals.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Their ideas. Yeah. I
Ideas.
agree.
Yeah. I agree with that. Okay, good. Who else, Laura?
Excellent, Mayra, thank you so much. And finally, we have Joraldi. Did I say it right? Yeah?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Okay, I think that I agree with the other partners, and I think that micro-racism is very important in the racism because it's that of compassion, which is forced, and it is that of charity, and which is nothing more than a tip of superiority. It is subtle but very harmful racism for those sorry, for those who suffer it.
Yeah.
And I think that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to everyone. So far, we don't have more people raising hands here or wanting to participate.
Okay. I will briefly give my opinion for this activity. I think that racism exists. Of course, racism exists. I think it has existed ever since humanity has existed, because we are more comfortable with things or people that are similar to ourselves. So that's what we are. That's what we like. And I think through history has shown that when two different cultures have collided, we've had some problems, right? So definitely racism exists in the world. It has always existed. Not to say that it's right. I don't agree with racism whatsoever. But it exists, of course. White supremacy, yes, that exists. There are some people, I would call them extremists, that believe that if you are white, you are superior to all, right? Which is crazy, of course. But I don't consider it a major issue in America, right? I know that there are some organizations, as Christian was saying, like the KKK, if you have ever heard of the KKK. And if you look at them and listen to them, it's ridiculous, right? Because they are so close-minded. And but do I think that it is affecting the country, the United States of America? No, I don't. I think that people just have maybe become more sensitive over the years. I believe that there is like a double standard with Blacks. They are asking for equality, but what they really want are like special privileges. I know that sounds maybe extreme, but I think that it is dangerous to adopt this idea, to coddle this ideology of victim. Do you know what victim means? Like, to be a victim, you are suffering, right? So yeah. I think that it is dangerous to coddle that idea, because we have seen many people take advantage of the emotions of Black America, and they create these like false scenarios to benefit themselves. We have seen this is true. And so I think it's dangerous. I think that the Blacks, in a way, are oppressing themselves, right? By saying that there is white privilege. If the Black want the white to admit and to believe that, yes, there is white privilege, well, that is like oppressing yourself, like saying, you are bigger than me, or you are more than me because you are white. Say it. Isn't it true? Don't you believe it? And then it's like oppressing yourself. I don't know. It's weird. I think that what one of our users said, I forget his name, he talked about culture. And I think that is really, really true. I think that culture, the Black culture, really is to blame in part for their social and environmental problems. I think that, like, if you see any rapper, did you watch the video, Tupac, right? Did you see the video? This Tupac is a rapper, and one of his quotes is, West side till you die, West side till you die. What does that mean? Like, that is a motto that he is telling everyone, West side till you die, like gangs, streets, drug dealers. And that culture is really creating those social environments in some places in the United States. It's horrible. I'm from Canada. I really have not seen that extreme side, because Canada is different than America. It's a beautiful country. And we don't have those kinds of problems. And that poverty, we definitely don't have that there. But in the States, that culture. So I also think that sometimes two human beings with different skin colors, they can have, maybe they don't get along, right? And it is really harmful to assume, how do you say assume? Asumir, assume? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
asumir.
to think that it's always because there's racism involved. And come on, guys. I mean, Black, white, Hispanics, they can have differences that are not race related. And finally, I just want to end with, I think that it is more of a political problem. And I think that there are two sides of political parties of the government. Really, the main ones is the Democrats and the Republicans. And I think that the Democrats are really using the Black community as a tool, herramienta, as a tool for the votes of Black America. Because if the Democrat doesn't have the vote of the Black Americans, bye-bye Democrat Party.
Yeah.
So that is my take on this. So I think we could go to the next slide.
This one.
Black Lives Matter. Here's our key vocabulary. Go ahead.
Here we are. This is a very nice thing to talk about the topic tonight. The key vocabulary makes mention about these words. I would love to go on one of this. The first one is race. You know what race means? We can see race as, like me, I am Caucasian, but we can have African, we can have Chinese, we can have Hispanic. You know, there are many different races. Double standard, I would say that it's having two sets of rules for the same thing. It's something like two different options in the same position. It's common for us to speak about double modal. You know, we in Spanish use that expression very common. Double modal, double standard is kind of similar, you know. Looting, we're gonna talk about looting during our presentation, but looting is kind of a very big mess people do when there are some riots. So there are people stealing, destroying, breaking glasses and stores, and you know, even televisions. They are taking television from the big stores, and cars and computers, you know. So those are looting. Riots, okay, riots is it's a right, but not in that way. You can go out on the streets and complain and let them know what you think about anything, about any position, about any situation. But riots become a problem because when people mess and they lose the order, then they get similar like looting, but screaming, destroying, getting down some nice sculptures, you know, and that's not a nice thing to do. It's very similar when we have in Colombia, when we have those in the public universities strikes, when they are fighting for the rights. There are some criminals using these strikes to get these riots, you know. A law-abiding citizen. This is connected to being a good guy.
Hands up if you are a law-abiding citizen. Hands up.
Of course, all of us. But yeah, being a nice citizen is like follow the rules, being a good man, you know, doing what it is supposed to do. For example, during quarantine, not going out, wearing the mask, you know, that's law-abiding citizen. I'm seeing Regina raising your hand. Honey, let me finish and then I will give you a word. Okay, Regina?
No, she's just trying to tell you that she is a law-abiding citizen. That's all.
Oh, thank you, Regina. Yes, I know. Defund. Defund is take away financial resources. Something like reduce the economy for something in special. So if your mother defund you, is because she's reducing your amount of money you receive. Cop, it's a synonym of police officer. It's a very common synonym. Matter is taking care. It's something important. That's why our symbol tonight is Black Lives Matter because it's important, Black lives, you know. Victim, there is a very famous meme in the internet. Have you seen it? It's the víctima. That's the one, victim. Someone who suffers, someone who's having bad situation. Minority, the few, the lowest number, you know. So the few in every community. Supremacy, we were talking about it. We were talking about white supremacy, and supremacy is like a big authority, like the dominance part, okay? But from all of this vocabulary, the most, or I would say like the most important for tonight is matter, because we really matter what happens with Black lives, okay? So this is our key vocabulary. We're gonna be talking about them during our presentation. Here we are, Darlene.
Okay, so what are we looking at? Democrats and Republicans? What the hell are we talking about here? I thought we were talking about racism. Well, racism, like I said, is founded or there's a lot of history with racism in politics, right? And as I was saying, there are two main parties. We have the Democrats, which are the blue states. For example, California is a really big blue state. They are very liberal. That's the Democrat Party. And then we have the Republicans, which are the right side, the red states, like the southern states. So the difference between the two, we will give you a little lesson, basic small lesson on what things do the Democrat Party or what ideas do the Democrat Party have and the Republicans. Would you like to start, Christian, with Democrats?
Yeah. I would like to make a really clear comparison with Colombia, because, you know, it's easier for us when we have some situations connected to our culture. Yeah. We could say that United States have those two parties, but we could say that Democrats are very similar to the parties in Colombia for Antanas Mocus or Claudia Lopez, or, you know, they have been following this kind of politics. They like or they fight for the social equality. They support the minority. I mean, rights, including everyone's, including LGBTQ, but also multiculturalism or any kind of minority. Protecting the environment, that's very important for Democrats, and they invest a lot of money in researches on protecting the environment and stopping some companies, you know, and government inventions as well. They are like looking for improvements on technology, on new areas they can improve our lives. So this is like the space in United States that we could identify with. The most known now, the most famous one here in Colombia is the mayor in Bogota, Claudia Lopez. She's like representing something similar like this. But now we have against the Democrats, the Republicans. Darlene, would you like to explain us what it is?
Yeah, okay. So the Democrats, as Christian was saying, they protect the social equality and the environment. There is a lot of government intervention where they help the communities with like programs like welfare. Welfare is a program where if you are a single mother, for example, a single mother can benefit from this welfare program. They receive money from the government to help with their children and, you know, for that stuff. Does Colombia have welfare? No, right?
No.
Yes,
maybe? But not in that way. But yes, we have kind of, not like the United States, but yeah, people receive some help, some
Colombia what?
Not in such an effective way, right?
I don't agree with it.
A little bit different.
A little.
Why? Tell me, who's speaking? Please tell me, why don't you agree?
Daniel. Yeah.
Colombia what?
I was asking, does Colombia have government programs como welfare. Welfare is a subsidio to help the single mother in the house, and the government gives you money, extra money to help for your children. Does Colombia
Okay.
have this?
I think no.
I think that no.
No. Yes.
In our country, there are many injustice and corruption. I don't believe that the resources used for the improve the healthy or the education for the people, for the Colombian people. Now is very different with the USA and Colombia.
Yeah.
The resources are more for the government. The people is low.
Yeah, that is true. Let me give you a comparison, okay? I know that in Colombia there are some subsidiaries. Hay unos subsidiarios, ¿no? Subsidiarios? No, that's not.
Subsidios.
Subsidios.
Someone said in the group, in the chat, someone said Familias en Acción. That's the closest thing we have. It's not the same, darling. It's not the same.
It's not the same. No, when you say it's not the same, you mean economically it's not the finance, it's not the same. Here in Colombia, I believe they give single mothers 25,000 por mes per kid. So 25,000 pesos per child. In dollars, I don't know what that is, but in America or in Canada, the amount is como $700 per child. So it's like a really big difference. But anyway, Colombia does have something similar, right? Is anybody else waiting to speak or no?
Yeah, we have Regina and Angelica Camacho. They're waiting to speak, so go ahead. Miss Regina first and then Angelica.
Oh, okay. Good night.
Hi.
Hello. Good evening.
Thank you for this space for speak over different aspects.
Thank you for coming here. Thank you so much.
Okay. I think America has not found a way to unite the country. The way its founders aspired to do it. There is no way that the United States can be as free as she says she wants to be, unless they make sure that with their founding fathers promise is for fight by everyone, regardless of race, creed, or color. I think with other countries, deberían, tendrían similar situations. For example, in South America, the countries como Brazil and Colombia, this case is very difficult. In South America, Brazil is the first country in this topic. Yes.
I agree.
In equal in education, ¿cómo lo digo?
Say it in Spanish and I will help you.
The opportunities are inequals for both races. Opportunities in education, in employ, in vivienda, and economy are very different for black and white, the races.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Good.
Very good. So, Angelica?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can hear
Yes.
you.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to add something before you went to the other slide, and it's about vocabulary. I lived 2 years in the United States, and I learned something that was a woman when was a racist person and was, and she believed it was superior. The name that the people use for this kind of women is
Karen?
Karen,
yeah.
So I mean, a lot of harem in there, but I could
Racist.
yes, and I could know that. The majority of people, it's not racist. Look at my skin; I'm not white at all, but I know that a lot of people are very racist. But someone tried to be really mean to me one day, but I learned that the good people is definitely more.
Sorry, how do you
Amazing.
spell that word, Angelica?
Karen.
Karen,
Could you write it on the chat?
Karen,
Yes.
like the name K-A-R.
Oh.
It's a Karen.
Yeah.
Like the Mimi,
Yeah.
like the cat Mimi asking for Karen. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you for that. That was good. That was a good point. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
What about,
okay.
Sorry, what about, I
Okay.
know that Aaron was trying to raise his hand. Maybe he was trying to ask something. So Aaron, do you have any question, any comment?
Not right now, thank you.
Not right now, okay.
Prepare your question, Aaron, because you were raising your hand.
Okay,
Darlene,
so yeah,
look.
so let what? Tell me.
Look what you have.
Oh, but
What's
wait,
this slide?
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you have something else to add about this?
Yes. So I was
course.
still just sorry. I will just close really quickly. Remember that
Go
the
ahead.
Democrats they are pro government intervention, like these subsidios, right? On the Republican side, this is the right side. They think of, or they believe that less government intervention is better for the people, because it will encourage them to go out there and do something and not stay at home, and be dependent on the government. So they agree, they believe in lower taxes. They believe that America is the land of opportunities, and you create those opportunities for yourself. That's what they believe, right? They have more traditional Christian values. They're very Christian, so they are opposed to same-sex marriage, abortion, legalization of marijuana, for example. They are strictly opposed to it because they are, super Christian. They have tougher immigration laws, and they are big supporters of guns. Don't mess with the Republicans and their guns. Don't do it, because you can't. It's a big problem. I think actually this is the #1 problem really in America, is their guns. I say take away the guns, so I don't agree with that, but that is their idea. They believe that they have to have the right, el derecho, the right to have a gun, okay? And they believe in tougher immigration laws, like the wall. So do you want to go to the next slide now? We can show them.
Yes.
This guy, who knows this guy? What's this guy's name? Anyone, tell me. Nobody? Really?
Come on.
Nobody knows?
Come on.
Just say his name.
President of the United States.
You can activate your microphone. Come on. You know who he is.
Who is this guy?
The president.
I defend him.
I don't know how the people how do you say eligieron? Choose
Choose
him to be a
You
president.
don't know.
Why? Why do you say that? Tell me.
Daniel, you don't like him, right?
No, I hate him.
Why? Why? Give me a reason.
Xenophobic. Oh my God, that is a stupid man.
I want to say something.
Louder, you are the moderator.
When they were running the elections, there were this guy, and I forgot the name of the girl.
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. So I think he's crazy. He's kind of mad, but he's more human than Hillary Clinton. So I think that she's talking about yesterday's debate, conspiracy, and all those things. I think she's like a reptilian. So I prefer Donald Trump. He's more human.
Reptilian. Oh my God. What are those words?
Yeah. Yeah, it was difficult when it was Trump or Hillary Clinton. I was like, okay, if I was an American, you choose dumb or dumber. Which one? I mean, it was difficult. But I would have chosen Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton for sure. Hillary Clinton, she is talking like a robot. I mean, what are your thoughts, guys? What do you guys think?
There are people raising their hands.
Great, let's hear them.
Let me check who.
Raising their hands. Basically,
Carol.
we have Aaron. Go ahead.
Aaron.
Aaron.
About Donald Trump, I think that a lot of people misunderstanding his words because and for this a lot of people think that he's a racist person, but I think that he was trying to protect his country because you can see our situation. For example, the Venezuelan people was invading our country, so they was demanding rights for them, but this is not their country. Yeah, that even we don't have enough employees and enough jobs for them, even for us. So I think that it looks like a racist way, or I don't know, a bad situation for the people, for the other people, the view that we have about him. But I think that he was trying to protect his country because obviously you are gonna choose first your our people, no? So
of course,
I think that was a misunderstanding with his words, because I used to put me in the two parts of the in a discussion, in a good way or in a bad way. So that I think that there was a big wrong with his words.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. Interesting. Thank you so much for that. Anybody else?
Yeah, Carol. Now it's your turn. Carol Victoria.
Carol. Karen or Carol?
Hello. Carol.
Carol.
I define him only in the that he defend the life. He doesn't agree the abortion.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with him with the immigrants, for example.
Why?
It's a hard topic.
It's difficult. Why don't you agree? Why don't you agree?
Because in USA there are many people, what do you say, que llevan mucho tiempo.
Long time there.
Long time live here, but at the moment he wants
to take them out.
Yes, take out the people.
To
return the countries.
To deport.
To deport.
Yeah.
Deport.
That's the word.
That's definitely difficult. That's difficult. Yeah, I agree. Anybody else? Thank you.
Carol.
Karen. Carol. Thank you, Carol.
Carol. Frank Vivero. Go ahead, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Frank.
We lost Frank. We lost Frank. Frank is gone.
hello.
Oh, there he is.
Hello, Frank.
Hi.
Hi. I think that he's not a good person because I think he just tried to show that he has the power and he can do whatever he wants with the country. I think that building a wall is something excessive. It's like he just, I can do it and I'm gonna do it, something like that. I think he can be tougher with the immigrants laws, but maybe building a wall is a waste of money. And I don't know if any of you saw what Anonymous leaked like weeks ago, saying
Yes,
that he's a
yes.
rapist. So that's not good for a president.
No. I haven't heard the latest that he is a rapist. I have heard that he is many things, but the rapist thing,
yeah.
that is new. That is
yes.
new. And I tell you, do you know that elections are coming up? Elections are coming up very soon. And it's very interesting to hear this new revelation that Donald Trump is a rapist. Oh my God, horrible.
Yes. That's what I saw. That Anonymous leaked some documents that say that.
Anonymous, you got to be careful of what you're reading, right? Because if they are anonymous, they don't want you to know who they are. So you have to question. You have to question
Maybe
the source. Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I am in the same page. I agree with Frank. It's not easy, it's not easy to say something good about this guy, because all we know, all that we receive are bad comments,
Yeah.
By internet, by news, by magazines. But before he was a president, like 3 or 4 years before, that we never thought he was going to be a president.
Yeah.
He was really famous in United States, and he has written a very good book, which is a bestseller, about economical and financial things. And he is a friend of Robert Kiyosaki, right?
I think he has many friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but they wrote a book. They
all together.
They both wrote a very famous book from Robert Kiyosaki. So as far as we know, he wasn't politician. He was a very rich man. Now he's a president.
Yeah.
Now we are against some of his thoughts,
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's interesting to me that many people they cannot find something good that Donald Trump has done, but they are very observant of all of his pecados, of all of his sins, right? Yeah. I know Donald Trump, when he speaks, he is not a refined politician. He did not live a life preparing to be president. He's a businessman. And actually, he has broken records. What is his job as the president? What is his job? His job is to do good for his country, for his people, right? That is his one priority. And since he has been in administration, he has lowered taxes. How do you say taxes? Impuestos.
As a good Republican, lower taxes. Yes.
Lower taxes. Why? Because less for the people, right? Less government intervention for the right. But with this, the unemployment rate. How do you say unemployment?
Desempleo.
Desempleo. The rates have gone down. So it's real. That is good. And we have a lot of jobs, the most job creation in history, history, okay? And
that's crazy.
Low poverty. So no taxes, unemployment down, high job creation, low poverty. For me, for my country, I say that is good. That is good, you know? And about the wall, to build a wall, I know it sounds crazy, right? Oh my God, build a wall. But guys, what is happening? 90% of the drugs, they come in from Mexico. We have 10,000 kids, kids are trafficked across the border. 10,000 every year. Kids illegally trafficked over the border. Crazy. 56,000 illegal immigrants in the prison system of the United States. 56,000 illegal immigrants in the system. What does that mean? That means that the taxpayers, the money that the people are paying in taxes is going to take care of these immigrants who came into the country and made a crime. They killed somebody, they robbed somebody, they raped somebody, who knows? But they're in jail for a reason, and they are an illegal immigrant. Do you know how much money the government pays to take care of these 56 million immigrants? $135 billion a year, not pesos, $135 billion a year. The taxpayers' money go to take care of these illegal immigrants that are criminals. So really, I think that building a wall, if that is the solution to keep people out and make it fair, you know, for Colombians to go to the United States, tell me, I don't know, how long, what is the process to go to the United States?
Very hard and expensive.
Tell me, I mean, years, a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we have to do it the right way, the legal way. We can't just go swimming across the border, you know, over to or walk across. No, we can't. We can't do that. So we have to be good, be law-abiding citizens, do the paperwork, spend the money, and do it the legal way and go to America. So if there is no regulation and we can let everyone come into America, you or the Colombians and the Indians and the Chinese and the Ukrainians and the Syrians, they have to wait a long time because there's no room. So I don't know, I kind of agree with the wall. I think that it could help. Anybody?
Yeah, we have here Carolina Hernandez. So go ahead, Carolina.
Hi, Carolina.
Hi, Stephanie. Definitely agree with you. Just think of something.
Okay.
Venezuela, people from Venezuela is coming here and messing up. But there are people from Venezuela helping us, doctors,
Yes,
people,
I agree.
exactly. There are good people and people who is maybe not conscious of going to another place and help the people from there. So
Yeah.
my point is, I lived in London for almost 10 years.
Oh.
What happened with London? Now they are out of the European Union because they didn't have the president like Trump. He's an arrogant man. Okay, we are agree with that.
Yeah.
But they didn't have like a head to have a strong hands and put all the people who want to help in one side. I was paying taxes as I was working legally. I was paying like per week, if like 1 week off of my job in taxes.
Wow.
So I have because they're still there, cousins receiving help from government, as Stephanie said, like 800 for each child, house, transport, food, everything. So I was paying all my cousins. They were there like 25 years ago. I just arrived there to work, pay taxes for them that they were not working, my cousins. I love them, for God's sake, you know. So I am agree with Stephanie. There are people who is been there for ages or now doing nothing, and he has to take care of his people. I understand that. And if there has to be hard measures to do that, well, welcome. So that's not going to UK situation. They have to go outside European Union, which is really bad for them, just to get people out.
Thank you so much. That was really interesting. Good.
It was important, you see. It was important because it's something that we don't know about, like we don't speak about it very frequently.
Yeah.
And you know what, you said something really important, Caroline, and it was like, not all of them are bad people. And I have an example about it. When I used to live in Spain for 4 years, and guys, there was one point when I felt embarrassed to say I was Colombian, but not because of my country. You know why? Because every single time that we were in a bar and it was a problem, there was one Colombian guy involved in that problem. Any single situation that we had in a neighborhood with a family having parties and doing such a big mess, they were Colombian. So when they knew that someone else were Colombian, they were like, oh, come on, are you that way? Oh, no, then. And we are Colombians. I mean, I was working and I was doing well as you, Caroline, but I don't know how to say that. That the people from Colombia, how do I say that word even in Spanish? What is the word? Coterráneos? No, it's not coterráneos, right? What? When you are in the same country? I don't remember the name. But my Colombian guys were doing really horrible activities there, and even stealing, fighting with girls, you know, men hitting girls. Oh, come on. I was like, what? And they were Colombian. Some of them caleños, some of them paisas, some of them costeños. And there was, no, I am Colombian, but I am from Bogota. But, you know, it's the same situation. I know not all of the Mexican guys are doing bad in the United States. No, of course not. There are many good people in the United States from Latin America. But what about coincidence? What an unfortunate situation that most of the criminals, I mean, and the highest thing about the drugs are Colombian, or Mexican, or Panamanians. Or, of course, any president would do what he's doing, you know?
Yeah.
So it's understandable, not acceptable, as Frank said, not acceptable, that's crazy. But in one point, it becomes acceptable, you know?
Yeah, good. Anybody else? Is anybody else waiting to say anything?
Well, here we have a comment from Manuela Torres, who's saying that before the situation was of Venezuela, before the situation of Venezuelan people coming to Colombia, it was Colombian people getting to Venezuela and held the country for a lot of time. But as far as I know, not only held the country, but to make a lot of money. Venezuela was very rich for a long time. So many Colombian people traveled there and made a lot of money. And I don't know if Frank is raising the hand or it was because of the previous participation.
Frank, do you have anything to say?
It was the previous.
Oh, okay. And before I had Mayra, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't give you the word. I don't know if you now want to speak.
Hi, Mayra.
Mayra left. You see? Okay, I'll be attentive to her. Okay, so far no more people here.
Okay, guys, anytime you have anything to say, please. I mean, I'm not here to practice my English, that's for sure. So anytime you want to interrupt me, just interrupt me and jump in and give us your opinion, okay?
Yeah, of course.
So guys, this next slide, would you like to show the next slide? We have, okay, we have this picture. Do any of you recognize these guys? Anybody?
Yes.
Not all of them. Yes.
Yes, you recognize them? Okay.
Who?
Well, they are some individuals who were killed by cops, right? They were killed by police officers. And the most, let's say, famous one, or the most recent one that made a big attention is George Floyd, this guy here in the middle, right? And he actually, he was murdered by a horrible cop, someone who, you know, was not protecting the community. I think this cop had an ego problem, and it was really bad. It was sad to watch. And George Floyd definitely, or any of these people, they did not deserve to die the way they did. And the police officer, Derek Chauvin, he's going to go to jail, and he's going to, you know, get what he deserved. But the question is, do you believe that it is probable that these people were killed because of the color of their skin, because they are black? Do you believe that? Anybody?
Maybe we need to, maybe I'm gonna help.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's confusing. But guys, they are black guys and they were killed. That's it. But in Spanish, ¿sería que los mataron solo por su color de piel o porque estaban infringiendo la ley? What do you think about that position? Harold, go ahead.
Harold Fernandez.
Good evening.
Hi, Harold.
I think the reason is not because they were black, but it's the reason that supports the reaction of the people that kills them. Yes, because I think the society creates the situations that justifies something that occurs with these people. For example, if it is normal that the black people lives in ghettos, with less options to education, to educate their children, or the access to public services, and all these things with the time creates a situation that causes the people reacts to all these things. I think it's normal with the people
reactions
in front of any special situation, like when a cop ¿cómo digo que les pide? Says requires for an identification, for example. Yes, but it's with the time people como digo, guarda cosas, o sea,
people keeps inside.
Keeps things that augmented. Quiero decir,
I know.
va guardando cosas que aumentan.
I know what you mean.
La rabia,
The
el dolor.
reasons. Okay, yeah. The anger. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. The people focus and hold on to the things that help the story of the racism and the supremacy. Good. I like that. Thank you, Harold. Anybody else?
No, for now.
Okay.
No, for now.
We can go to the next slide. So when George Floyd was killed, they went crazy. America went crazy and they were looting. Remember what is looting? When they go in the stores and they break the windows and they steal TVs and everything. It's shoes, looting, right? And they are rioting and they were damaging the streets and causing a big show, taking down historical statues because they are angry. What do you think? Do you think that the Black or Americans, let's say, they are justified to respond this way? Do you think it's okay?
I would let me start while someone else raise their hand.
Agree? What is your opinion?
Let me start while people start raising their hands. I don't really accept these kind of reactions, and I don't accept it because it's of course normal, as Harold said, negative reactions to a lot of bad consequences on their lives. We know that it's not acceptable, but what is the most interesting here? That I am pretty sure that the ones looting or participating in those riots and destroying the city, because it's not something specific, it's everything around, stores or public things or libraries, they are not just protesting or against the thing about blacks. No, they are just criminal people taking an advantage of this situation and going to do what they love, and what they love destroyed. Then I don't think it's a justification, or it's something like we could accept just because the guy was murdered.
They're angry.
I know it's not acceptable. I know, of course, if we were speaking about our Colombian situation, and if you are, I don't know, let's say in Popayan, and if you see that one guy from Popayan is beaten and like in that way humiliated, like so ugly, of course all people around, their friends or people around, will react. We are kind of that, but it's not possible to go in this way and destroy the city, and even scare kids, wives, families not going out because of this situation.
Yeah. And is anybody's hand raised?
What about Judy Barrios? Go ahead.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, good evening. Finally, it's my turn. No, don't worry. I just want to say, of course, it's really sad. It's really sad. And also, I don't feel really comfortable talking about this topic about racism, because I'm not, of course, a Black American woman. So it's kind of difficult to understand the way of the scene, they live in their lives, and of course, in the United States. But my opinion is when you have that difficult life, of course, give you that way that, of course, of living, but they have the possibility to change their life, to do it in a different way, not be that George Floyd, because of all of the murders, really cruel murders. Even a kid was murdered for a cop just because he was holding a gun, like a playing gun. It just was a toy. but they need to do it like with this George Floyd thing. And I think that I'm not sure about this. This is just online information, but he was like an addict. He was like suffering for this. He was just an addict, like doing something wrong, as you said. That's why the cops react, you know, because, and also sometimes, and I think that I'm really open-minded like person, but when maybe like some guy is just walking, you know, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's scared, like maybe I feel like I react.
Of course.
So of course it's normal, but it's something that yes, we definitely need to change. And of course, if you're a cop and you have a gun, you have to react. So it's like 50-50, but of course, we all like around the world need to change our like set of mind, because we are thinking like, oh no, I'm not racist at all. We all are racist because we are white and we have a different life that they have lived. And that's my point of view.
Thank you,
Judy.
I want to read a very interesting comment that Liz left for us here in the comments. And it is that in the collective imagination, an image of the offender was created related to the appearance of people. It is called dangerous theory, teoría peligrosista. So generally, African race people were classified as dangerous. So that's enriching. Like, so we were born that way, and that's true. Like, it's a very old instinct we have. So we go away, or yeah, we stand back when we see people that seem dangerous. But if you let me say something, I think that Black people, especially in America, have been fighting for their rights in a pacific way for many years, and it seems that at the end it hasn't worked, yeah, or it hasn't worked the way they want, right? Of course, I'm not saying this is of course I'm not saying this is the way to do it, but at the end, when you already use all your resources and all the tools you had on mind, like I don't know, pacific things, then at the end people do pay attention to this. And if you have to do it to be listened, okay, let's do it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously, people who feel they are not being heard, they are going to go to the extreme to make sure you will listen to me. I have to be loud for you to hear me. Yeah, good. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else waiting to speak?
Yeah, Daniel Trejos.
Hi, Daniel.
No, not me. I raised my hand.
Okay, accidentally. Well, Liz, go ahead, Liz. Nice.
Yeah, I would like to ask Liz, who classified them as dangerous? Because I haven't heard that before.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hi, Liz.
Hi. It's a theory. It's a theory about the appearance of the people and influence the appearance in the dangerous, in the related the appearance with the how do you say delito? Is
crime.
Delito,
crime.
The crime. Yes, it's a theory, and you learn in the theory with US.
A theory.
We learn a theory with you, a student lawyer, because it's a fundamental theory of the pena, derecho penal.
Wow.
Yes, is for more time is classified se llama se le dice teoría peligrosista o teoría de es una teoría del derecho positivista y se utilizó para los códigos iniciales en derecho penal. Se clasificaba a las personas por la apariencia y de acuerdo con la apariencia, entre más feos, más se les condenaba teniendo
culpable.
En cuenta. Yes.
Liz.
Yes.
In Colombia, Liz, In Colombia or
in around of the world, yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, the Inter-American Court is disagree with the position because in this moment, still people believe in the theory and use the theory for the sentence, for the, how do you say sentencias, for condenation, sentence of condemn. This is influence, is a strong influence in the moment of the judge take a decision. Is more influence the appearance of the people in the moment
to judge.
The judge the people, because it's a right in the mind of the people. It's in general a right. It's common. The judge are another people for the appearance in general, and in lawyer is common the more judge influence about the appearance of the people. Yes.
I didn't know that. Thank you for that. I had no idea. Interesting, very interesting. Thank you.
Yes.
Horrible. More than interesting is horrible. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Darling, should we go to
next one? Good. Okay, guys, tell me, what do you see in this image? What do you see here? Let's look on the left side. We have a woman. Who wants to describe this picture? What do you see? What are they doing?
Let me check who wants to participate. I will start while someone else is asking for it. What can I see? I can see some black people sitting, looking how some white people wash their feet. And the most horrible part here is there are some white guys recording videos, you know. I'm gonna use this to spotlight. Look, this guy he's a white guy and he's recording, you know, and black people recording it like if they were feeling proud, you know. And they are so, I don't know what word would fit in this situation. Washing their feet, just because they are white, you know.
Let's take a look at the video. Let's show them something a little bit more.
Yes, let me share the video. Let me share the video.
Yeah, so as Christian was saying, we have some black people sitting down and getting their feet cleaned by white people. Okay.
Here it is. Let's check this video.
Okay, let's take a look.
Since I work for that company, my CEO has told me to come out today and to bring you on your knees because you have white privilege. So if they see that a white person is getting on their knees, that shows solidarity for the situation. And could you just please apologize for, you know, for your white privilege? Just apologize? I am. I'm trying to think of the right words to say because that's a big thing to say. It's big. It comes from. It's large in this country. I'm incredibly sorry that. You know, with this country, we have that President Donald Duck, that clown in office. You know, he's brought a lot of bigotry, and you're not a part of it, right? No. God, no. And so, you know,
Thank you for letting me have a moment.
Okay, you have a great day.
I don't
Come
have.
on. That makes me just so angry. I'm sorry. I mean, making people apologize, isn't that racist? Is that not racism? I mean, come on. What are your thoughts? What do you guys think? Of course, Aaron says, of course.
Racism in birth.
You know what? I have a better question. Not if it is racism. I have a better question. Would you down on your knees to ask forgiveness because you are white? Guys, I don't know. What do you
Who
think?
are you asking?
What do you think? I don't know. Let me check if someone else wants to participate.
Look, let's reverse the question. Would you get down on your knees and apologize for being black? What if you were black? What if you were Chinese? Are you going to apologize for being born a color? Come on, I really want to hear your thoughts.
I don't know if this was Harold before asking to talk or it was now.
Yes,
I think.
yes. I think
it's now.
Hi, Harold.
I want to say something.
Of course.
About the Black Lives Matter, for example. I think the problem is we are incorporating something that I think is very bad to the relation between people. For example, in the news, the presenter, como digo, la presenta. The presenter shows, for example, the black man, or so the student of the public university. Yes, I think the fact to adjective one thing incorporates this to the normal of the all the people in the world. Yes, then this causes that when I look at a black man, for example, I have a preconcept about these people. Yes, when I think about the student of the public university, I am waiting something from these people. I think it's necessary to change the costumbre, como digo, costumbre.
Behaviors.
This behavior, yes.
Yeah.
It is normal in all the world about the poor people, about the black people, about generally we are marking people over the world. It causes that we all have attitudes from
attitudes
from these people that are not good attitudes. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
It is necessary to change this.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, it's difficult because, you know, as you said, it's difficult to change these attitudes and these ideologies that they have. It's not easy, and that's why like he said, you know, racism exists all over the world. It's not subject only to Black Americans.
No.
Inequality is something that is just a part of life. Not everything can be equal everywhere, right?
Excuse me.
Okay, let's show the next slide. Yes.
Excuse me. Something more, and I.
Please.
Now is normal to say Afroamericano or to refers to Black people, for example. Yes.
Black, well, I mean, I don't know about African American. I think that it's acceptable to say Black Americans, because before they said it is politically correct to say African.
Not all the Black men are Afro-descendant.
Right.
Yes, they are Black people if it's necessary to talk about the color of their skin. Yes. But it is not necessary in all the situations. It is a people,
of course,
as any other people, anyone in the world. Yes, I think how could I declare to me?
Yeah.
I'm not Afro-descending. Como digo, bromeo. I joke with my family. I show to them I am Euro-descending. I'm not Afro-descending, but in the school, my mates show to me purple, morado. Yet today, someone of them say to me, morado. But I think it's a poor decision to say Afro-American.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. African American. Yeah.
It is not necessary.
People, yeah, humans. None.
Guys, I have something to say, and that's something a user mentioned in one of these debates this week. And like the main point here is not really equality, is equity, right? Because equality is giving everyone the same, right? And if we start thinking that we are in the same position, then we won't have any equality, but we need equity, right? We need to give everyone what they need. And in some cases, no matter if they're Black or Chinese or what you say, because racism happens all around, like we need to give everyone just what they need, not what everybody,
not what they want.
Yeah, not what they want, but what they need, right? So it's not about equality, but equity, I would say.
I love that. I love that. It's not about equality, it's about equity. Love it. Okay. Thank you. Should we move? Okay. What is this? Defund the police. Defund the police? What? What does that mean? Christian, defund the police. What's going to happen?
I mean, I would
Guys,
say,
do you remember what this word is? Defund? Defund, remember?
We
So what
gave
could that mean?
Yeah, we gave them the synonym of reduce some economic positions. Defund the police, more than defund the police, I would say that they need to receive any kind of consequences, you know, because of course it's understandable that Black people are reacting in a negative way. We understand what had happened before. We all know what the media shows, you know, what the news or what the journalists present to the people, but we don't know what happened before the guys were murdered. You know, we don't really know. We don't really know what the situation was with the police, with the cops trying to defend themselves, you know. And it's not, I don't know, I mean, it's not possible that they just kill. Doesn't matter if they are Black or white or blue or purple, like said Harold. Yeah, doesn't matter. They shouldn't kill, you know. I would say that in somehow they should defund the police. I don't know how, but they should defund it in some way, you know.
Interesting. So take away money from those who are there to protect the communities. Okay, I don't know what will happen. Any thoughts? Does anybody want to share what their thoughts are on defunding the police? Oh my God. Anybody? No?
I disagree about the defunding thing. I prefer like maybe reorganize the police, like the thought, the mind, the values, like everything, like something different, not the money, because it's something that they need, that we all society construct a police department to do something. So we need that, but we need it in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
good
they
point,
have
good
tried
point.
it before. I don't know, but maybe they have tried to reorganize it before and it didn't work. I don't know. I don't know, really. To be honest,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. No. But then,
What are you guys' thoughts? Anybody? No?
no.
Let's go to the next one.
Me.
Oh, who said me?
Hi, Aaron.
Aaron.
Hi. I think that it's a difficult situation because all depends of the each person, because there's gonna be good cops or bad cops. So yeah, I think that it all depends of the situation. So
Yeah.
it's good to
Yeah, I agree. I
defund the
agree.
police. Yeah,
I think, sorry, I think that the problem comes when we start making generalizations, right? It's like what happened here with that girl in Vera Chami, and they were saying the army raped her, and it was not the army. There were 7 soldiers who did it, right? So the problems start when we start thinking that just because of one person, well, that's the problem of representing an institution. Of course, we need to educate those militaries and we need to educate those cops, but like we cannot say that all of them or the American police is horrible, right? It's an institution, plenty of people with good values, some of them, some others don't have good values, same here in Colombia. So it was not the army, there were 7 soldiers, right, who need to be punished, hardly punished because of that.
You know, Laura, Colombian people have a very nice expression of phrase. Then it has to be in Spanish. En la viña del Señor hay de todo. So, like you said, not all of the cops are doing as very similar like taxi drivers. Not all of the taxi drivers are terrible, are horrible. No, there are many good human beings driving taxis. But there is, like you said, one person representing one institution, and then people generalize and speak about the institution, not the people who did it. And
that's what happens with racism, right? When you don't like one black person or one white person, and then you generalize, and then all whites are bad or all blacks are bad, right? It's the same idea.
I have one point. Sorry. It's about the last question about defund the police. Agree with that, since I think that we can redistribute the money that our taxes are paying, because if we see how much money do we put in the hands of police and military forces, it is too much. And there are things that we put the police and the military forces against something, I don't know, drugs, criminals, things like that. But there are other ways to deal with that, and not just to give it more guns and more things. It is like in the Amazonas in this moment. Military people, they have more protections than the doctors. So it's like, okay, so the doctors are the ones who are saving your lives. Why they don't have the things to be protected? So I think that is really necessary to redistribute the money, because we need more money in other places, not just for the military space.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So, look, they want to defund the police. Why do they want to defund the police? That's one thing that they want to do. But another thing that they are really firm on is police accountability, Christian.
Yeah. And there is a very interesting question that says, do you believe that police should be held accountable when they kill someone while on the job? And here we have this slide where we are showing you guys that 99 of killings by police from 2013 2019 have not resulted in office being charged with a crime. It means that 99% of those guys killed haven't had any justice, you know? The police haven't had any consequences. The cops have been just saying, I did my job, I was defending myself. Even worse, they haven't done any investigation about the situation. They just skipped, you know? And then only 4 have been charged. And not only charged, only 3 were charged, and 1 of those cops was convicted. So that's what Juan Camilo said, and what we were talking. We need to have some consequences and to reorganize the police, because maybe that's the reason Black people are so upset, because they haven't seen any justice on those Black guys. It doesn't matter if they were criminals or no, they were human beings and they needed some justice, So that's what I think.
Yeah.
Schutzen, you say?
Yeah, I agree. Is there anybody that wants to say anything before we go on to the conclusion?
Aaron was gonna talk.
Okay, I want to talk. Hello, good night.
Hello.
Hello. I recognize that voice.
So, in that matter with the police, I don't think it's only the accountability and the fund, because it's also a matter of education. I was checking last week with all this thing of the Black people movement, that they were saying that, for example, in Germany, the career for a policeman, it's about 4 years. They are preparing themselves for 4 years. But if we compare that with the United States, they do it in 8 months. So the psychological and all the preparation that they have is not the same. Because as a police, you need to be really prepared to hazard all those bad situations, difficult situations, and not rush in an instinct of, putting out your gun and start shooting. So I think it's also a matter of maybe not taking away the money, but as Judy said, like redistribute the money that they have. Because the problem is that they are putting all the money on arms and not really on education and preparing them for do their job. So it's the same that happened with doctors. If, for example, if the doctors wouldn't have that long career that they need to do, I think many people would die. So that's my opinion with that.
Yes, thank you.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Training and preparation, of course. I actually saw something that showed a barber has more training than a police officer in the United States. That's crazy. I agree with that. Anybody else would like to say anything? No? Okay.
No, I don't see someone.
Well, to conclude tonight, first of all, I would just like to thank education is the clue, and distribute the sources properly. Thank you, Carolina. Yeah, for sure. Of course, education. And training. It's hard though. If there are racist people on the police force, it's hard to change that mentality. But what you say is right. They need to be trained better and learn how to react. Obviously, we can never know what it is like to be a police officer in the United States, right? There are some places, some cities, some neighborhoods that police really almost cannot go to. I can't imagine being a police officer and always looking over my back, because I will tell you, more police officers get killed by Black people than vice versa. So, of course, as a police officer, you are going to be very reactive, because, many of them die on the streets of, Baltimore, Chicago. But you're right. Training is definitely important. I think, to conclude, guys, that there are many things that Black America, Black America needs, not America, damn it, that America needs to fix. Education. If you want to move maybe to the last slide, Chris, the last slide. We have 3 things.
This one, right?
This was a funny. Oh man, we had 2 really funny things. Okay,
Yeah.
Just go to the previous 2 slides, and we will just quickly. Yeah.
This one?
This guy. We can go to the one before. Has anyone seen this movie, White Chicks, right? This is, I mean, double standards, okay? Come on. Why is it appropriate for a black guy to put his face white and act like white girls, a stupid, blonde, white girl that's rich? And I mean, come on, that's racist. I don't agree with that. If blacks are going to be so, I'm a blonde too. I don't agree. What do you guys think?
Let me check who wants to talk.
I thought I heard somebody. Okay, this is just a funny example of racism on the other side, double standards. Let's go to the next slide. This guy, Jussie Smollett, ridiculous guy, who created a scenario, a false scenario that he was attacked by the KKK. And they said, Donald Trump for life, MAGA, make America great again. Why? Look at this little thing on his cheek, right? Like, oh, you poor guy, you really look like you were beat up. He lied. He made a whole story that he was attacked.
This one.
And that is, yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, stupid, really stupid. And actually this makes, he's feeding on the emotions of the Black communities to show that there's racism going on. It's ridiculous. Okay, and then the last slide, guys, just to conclude, the three things that we find that are really important. Education is number one, like Sergio said, but education from the elementary level. You know, in Baltimore, 75% of Black boys could not pass a basic reading exam. You know, that illiteracy rates, that's like should be number one. Number two, or very close behind, is father absence. We talked about the welfare system. The welfare actually incentivizes women to be single mothers because the government will pay, right? And if you grow up in a house with no father, you are 12 times more likely to live a life of poverty. You are 6 times more likely to drop out of school. You are 9 times more likely to live a life of violence. And I mean, come on, if we are taking the fathers out of the home, then we are setting up our children for failure. And then the last, I think, major point is Black on Black crime, the gangs and the drugs. Many more people are killed in their own communities because of the social problems. And we don't pay attention to those. We only pay attention when a white police officer or a white person disrespects a Black person. That's when we pay attention. But we don't pay attention when the little boy on the corner of Chicago was killed by another Black guy with a gun. We don't put that on the news. We only put on the news what the media wants us to see. Opportunity comes to those who create opportunity, and I think that every American has access to a system that will allow you to prosper no matter what your color, the color of your skin is. We know many successful Black people that took advantage of the American system. So that is proof. That is my point. I don't know if anyone has anything to say before we go. No?
Guys, any of you have last opinions to finish?
I have one opinion.
Go ahead.
It is about that racism is not just about Black and white. It is like with all races, and it's not just from white to Black. I had an experience. I like to talk like a lot about Bolivia, but that happens to me in Bolivia. And it was about all there is racist, but in a really different way. They have like this power of the indigenous people, and they are against the white people. And it is like you cannot find opportunities if you are white. Even you are going to have more opportunities if you have a last name related to earth or something like that if you are indigenous. And it is kind of, I don't know, tricky because there are good and bad things, but it's like this positive racism. It is called like that because they are giving more benefits to the one has been oppressed during many times, like long time. So what happened, like in this moment, something good is like, okay, they are receiving good benefits, but they're receiving like lots of benefits and without even studying or without even being prepared to have like a role like in a ministry or something like that. So yes, this kind of discrimination, it is like in every sense. And of course we have, because of the media, more people like involved in this topic of black and white, but there are lots of ways. So and yeah, it depends also about the country.
Totally. I agree with that. Good. Anybody else? No? Nobody else? Okay.
No, I
guys,
just want to say thank you, though.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. 2 hours, almost 2 hours in this Alive X. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for sharing your opinions. And we hope that you join us. Next week, we will have a whole bunch of topics for you. So please continue to come, participate as much as possible. We love you so much. And just thank you again for everything. Okay?
Thank you.